Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day today. Wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, and give you my overall thoughts on the beta. To be clear, this isn't going to be a full review. I don't feel comfortable reviewing something that is in beta status and has a lot of bugs and issues that they're planning to iron out. So this is more so just my general thoughts about the beta, mostly things that I really like, and a couple of reservations that I have. Nothing that detracts from my excitement about the game, but just a couple of things that I've noticed that I hope that they plan to address. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, this game has a huge amount of customizations. The list of classes and the subclasses are just staggering. No two classes are the same. All classes, in my mind, from what I've seen, are completely viable depending upon the makeup of your team. There are different races and backgrounds and spell focuses to go along with those classes. And of course, you have different mythic paths that can be chosen as well. So it all just comes together to give you an incredible amount of control over your character. You can really choose how you want to roleplay it and how you want to show up for combat in each playthrough. Significantly more in my mind than in Kingmaker, because even though there are a lot of classes in Kingmaker, I don't really feel like they were all as viable as what I'm seeing here in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, so kudos to them. Next up, I feel like the game visually is a significant step up from Kingmaker. The animations and effects for your mythic paths are absolutely fantastic, most especially Angel. Environments are heavily detailed and very engaging. The art for the different NPCs that you meet and talk to is all fantastic, and the characters are very well detailed. And honestly, all of it makes me even more excited for the full release because I know there's a lot of visual things I haven't seen yet. Of course, you can't max out the mythic paths, so I don't know what the effects look like at those final levels. Mounting animations are not ready at all, so we have no idea what it looks like to see you jump onto a boar and charge into battle in these fantastic environments. I'm really looking forward to some of the things that I know still aren't in the game, but visually, I still feel like even without it, it's absolutely fantastic. And again, a significant step up from the way it looked in Kingmaker. Third, and I've already alluded to this a couple of times, but the mythic paths are fantastic. They really feel powerful. Honestly, I feel like your character is really defined by how they were before they picked their mythic path, and then how they are after the mythic path. I think there's a clear line of distinction, both from a role-playing aspect and also from a power level aspect. To me, it's different from most RPGs that I've played. I feel like most RPGs, it's really that the sum of the whole is more than the individual parts. So you keep picking so many different things that by the time you're a high level, you're just walking through everything because you just have so much stuff and you've accumulated so much XP. With this, it's different. It really rewards you for deciding, okay, this is my character, this is my lane, and I'm going to build out this particular character to occupy this lane and pick mythic path skills that further layer those powers. And if you do that, you're heavily rewarded in this game. Each option feels completely viable. I wouldn't say there's really a weak option among them. Each option gets really deep into, role playing a specific type of character. Do you want to be a demon that's trying to rule the abyss? Do you want to be an angel that is trying to do work on behalf of heaven? Do you want to be Lord of the Dead? Do you just want to cause chaos and be a trickster everywhere? Each path has its own role-playing style and mindset that comes along with it. And I think it makes it so much more fun to play through them. And of course, even when you pick an option, it's not like your customization stops there. Each option has then significant more options underneath it that allow you to further flesh out what kind of person are you on this mythic path. It is all absolutely fantastic. Next up, I think the story is great from what I've played of it so far. First and foremost, I think the beginning is significantly more engaging a start than what you get in Kingmaker. You know, in Kingmaker, you're basically thrown into this competition where you're trying to take over land and become a political lord. It's not terrible, but I personally found it difficult to role play a character through that because I'm like, why am I here? What if you're role playing a character who would have no interest in stuff like this? You know, you're just kind of forced to go through that competition. Whereas in this game, where you're at immediately is overrun by demons. So you don't really have a choice but to pick up a weapon and start fighting. And then very, very quickly, you get access, not full access to one of the mythic paths, but you get access to the visual effects of one of the mythic paths. So it makes complete sense why people are following you. They see that you have gained access to a power that they've never seen before. I hate some games where it seems like people are following you because the story needs them to follow you. But in this case, it all feels organic. It makes sense why you're able to bring these people together and why a certain amount of trust is placed in you. And you truly feel like you're getting swept up in things that are way beyond you. Literal celestial gods and demon lords are clashing and trying to take over the world. And none of them speak to you directly. You know, I got up to Act 4. I haven't met a single one, and I think it's fantastic. It makes you feel like there's a whole war happening that's way above your head, and slowly but surely you're rising through the ranks to become someone who cannot be ignored. I love it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. And then finally, I'm really, really impressed with the variety of the party members. All of them have completely distinctive personalities. Their personal quests are fantastic from what I've seen so far, and oftentimes seem like little mysteries that you have to pursue and figure out. Some of the party members' classes mesh really well with who they are, which I actually like quite a bit. Sela is a paladin, Ember is a witch, Camilla is a shaman. I really, really appreciate that the way they fight and the classes they level up in are a direct reflection of who they are. I personally love that. I know some people prefer to multi-class, and so that might be kind of annoying because some of these characters, if you multi-class them, it kind of breaks continuity. But personally, I appreciate it because it shows that everything has been thought of when it comes to these party members. Not just how they look, not just their personality, not just their quest, but also making sure that the way they choose to fight is a reflection of who they are. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And that wraps up everything that I really liked about this game. As I've said before, I'm very, very excited about it. But there are a couple of things that give me pause and that I'm hoping they will address before full release. And of course, this is not anything that they've talked about already. They've talked about some of the bugs and some of the things that they're concerned about. And my assumption is all of that will get done before full release. These are the couple of things that I've seen that I haven't seen them talk about that do give me a little bit of pause. So first and foremost, there's too much redundancy in party member classes. Windewog, Lan, and another secret party member are all bow wielders. And for each one of them, their class seems completely out of place. Windewog is a fighter. A fighter is so vanilla that you can't tell me it's a reflection of her personality or who she is. And considering the care that is went to all the other party members, I don't understand why she's been left at this class. Lan is a Zen archer. Why? That makes zero sense to me. Zen archers are supposed to be people who have basically dedicated their entire lives to learning how to use and wield a bow. And it's extremely important to them, their connection with that weapon. I can't remember a single conversation with Lan where he talked about how much having a bow meant to him and how he has dedicated himself to the art of firing a bow with precision. Like that seems completely out of place with him. He does not even seem like a monk to me. But they've made him just a Zen archer, and I feel like it was kind of just thrown onto him. And there's too many characters who depend upon dexterity. I did a playthrough where I rolled a half orc, just specialized in strength and constitution. I made him a Hell Knight, and he was just supposed to run in there and slash up everything, right? And it felt so completely different from any other party members that are available to you. There is no party member that's given to you that's really meant to pick up a large weapon and just slash away at things. And considering how many companions you get, that's weird. That's weird to me. There's too many characters that depend on dexterity, and there's just not enough diversity in how these characters play. Even Regal, you get a Hell Knight, and they have him use dexterity. Like, he is not even a good tank. He's just not. He's not a good tank, and he's not a great secondary damage dealer either. He's just there. And that doesn't make any sense. He should absolutely be the guy who runs up and handles business. And so I'm hoping before full release that something's going to be done to tune up some of these party members and make them more effective in their select roles. And also, frankly, change their roles. Next up, since we're on the subject of party members, some of the party members are definitely lacking in content. Like I said before, the party members who do have quests, those quests are fantastic. No issues there. But Regal, Ember, Windwog, off the top of my head, do not get any quest until the 4th act. Regal gets one. But it's one where I feel like you don't learn anything about him. You don't learn anything about his personality. It's basically just another quest that you go through. Whereas some of the other party members absolutely get content that delves into who they are and makes you feel more connected with them. And it's all just fascinating stuff. And so my hope is that's just because this is in beta. But I want to make sure that they kind of even things out some, where we feel like for all the party members, there's an opportunity to connect more, delve into who they really are, and just go through some fun things together. And right now, that's not where we're at. And then finally, there's not enough of a variety in equipment. And again, this could be just because it's in beta, but I played Pillars of Eternity, the first one, and it had a similar issue where there was a significant lack of good accessories that all of your party members can use. And I'm hoping that's not the case in this game. Mind you, armor, weapons, rings, capes, necklaces, plenty of those all throughout the world. But glasses, shirts, gloves, and wrist are in extremely short supply. I got all the way to the end of Act 4, and I still had multiple slots of those types that were empty across multiple characters. Not even bad items, just no items. Like, I never found something that I could use for it. That's a problem for me. You know, I'm definitely a completionist when it comes to my characters. So I want each category accounted for. And if you're going to have it there, you should allow people items and things that they can put on their characters that will make use of those slots. It shouldn't just be there just to look pretty. And I feel like, again, in Pillars of Eternity, some of those slots were just there. They didn't really account for what you would need to put into that slot to make certain characters effective. So hopefully in the full release, that's something that's going to be addressed. All right, that's the list of my thoughts regarding the beta. Let me know yours. Give me your feedback down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in more content later on this week. Take care.